Hello, hello. Today I want to talk about EFT tapping, which is a technique that I use especially when I'm having trouble getting out or having a lot of anxiety or stress. And what EFT stands for is Emotional Freedom Technique Tapping. So it's a form of acupressure, and what we're doing is we're basically tapping into the issue and accessing our energy meridian points with the tapping while we acknowledge what the discomfort is, as well as accept ourselves regardless of what we're going through. So I'll share a little example as well, but you can do this technique for any physical or emotional discomfort. Like I mentioned, I use it mainly for stress, and I have tried it for TMJ, so that physical discomfort as well. And what I like about this is that with affirmations, I use affirmations all the time, and I set reminders. I place them different places so I remind myself of them. But when you're in a very negative mind space, or when you're like when I deal with stress or panic that's in the current moment, saying those affirmations don't work for me in that specific moment, because all your body is showing you all these other symptoms while you're trying to, kind of lie to yourself if you are just saying, I'm calm, while your body is showing you that you're not. So those are the situations where I use this technique, the EFT tapping. So what you do with this is, first you want to check in with yourself and see what the intensity is of your stress or whatever the discomfort is that you're working on. And hi, thanks for watching live, everyone. So first, check the intensity of the discomfort. And right now we're talking about EFT tapping. So as you are tapping in these certain points that I'm going to share right now, we're restoring balance, energetic balance throughout our body. So there's other videos of this online. This is just how I've been doing it for the past few years. This was part of my exposure therapy when I was using this technique to get out of the house and start socializing again and moving past that agoraphobic stage in my life. So you want to say, even though and then you state whatever the fear or discomfort is, and then accept yourself. I completely love and accept myself. That's kind of like the script that you can use. And what you do as you're saying this is you're tapping the top of your head, the beginning of your eyebrows right here. I don't know if you can see that. The side of your eyebrow, or the side of your eye, like your temples, under your eye, under your nose, chin, collar, the side of your body. I don't know if you can see that right here. And then the side of your hands, and this is called karate chop. And online there's different numbers. They say do it 3 times, do it 7 times. I don't really count. I just kind of flow with it as I'm having a conversation with myself. So I'm just like tapping a couple of times. You could either go around or just in one spot. And then here, as you're saying, even though I am afraid of getting out, I completely love and accept myself. And you just kind of do that until you start feeling better. And that's why you want to check your intensity before, so that you can kind of check in and see, okay, do I need to do it another round? How am I feeling? And at the end, you should be at a level, like if you're checking your intensity from 0 to 10, if you started off at a 10, keep going until you're at least at a 0, 1, or 2. So you can do that. I like doing this in front of a mirror because it adds a little bit of the mirror work. It was another technique that I was doing, so I kind of meshed both of them, that when you are looking at yourself and stating what the issue is, what the concern is, why you're afraid, why you're stressed, what worries you have, etc., as you're seeing yourself in the mirror, you kind of see how unrealistic the fear can be, or it's like having a conversation with someone else. I often say, or like to remind myself to the things that I tell myself, if I wouldn't tell them to a good friend or anybody, right? We tend to be nicer to other people than to ourselves, then we shouldn't be saying those things to ourselves. So seeing and doing this practice in the mirror will kind of amplify a bit more what the fear is and see kind of how unrealistic it is. So, you could do that if you can. And then for me, the conversation kind of flows. So as I state the issue, because those are the two steps, state the discomfort and then accept yourself regardless of it. So as I continue doing this, I elaborate, even though I'm afraid of going live because I fear, people will judge what I say and so forth. You just kind of continue the conversation and always ending with completely loving and accepting yourself. And then I noticed that the more I do the rounds, the more I kind of dive into the like, well, my information is helpful, it might help other people, and it kind of goes from fear to authentically understanding the realistic side of it and kind of encouraging myself, and it kind of becomes more of an affirmation. So I hope that made sense, and if anybody has any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I will try to save this and put it on IGTV. And yeah, so another thing that I like to add, one last thing, is essential oils to this. Y'all know I love aromatherapy and using oils for different practices. So you can either diffuse an oil that goes along with whatever you are working on, or you can, and thanks for the hearts, you can also diffuse it, you can apply it to your skin, or even if it's diluted and if it's safe for topical use, apply some to the tips of your fingers. Our fingers, like if you know about mudras, I've talked about them and I have posts on them. They connect to different elements in our body. So you can add roll some essential oil on there depending on what you're working on. So for me, if it's stress, I would use a grounding oil and then use that to tap in, just being careful with your eyes and sensitive areas. So we can do a little run through to just kind of show how I do it. And I don't have really an example in mind. I think that's all I wanted to cover. But yeah, so you would just start looking at yourself, and I guess I could see myself in the camera. Even though I am nervous going live, I completely love and accept myself. It's a bit scary to be vulnerable to a lot of people that watch this, but I completely love and accept myself. I know the information I give is useful and it's helped me, so I may help others. Even though I'm afraid of going live, I completely love and accept myself. So that's just a little example, and I feel sometimes a little tingly when I do that, and I just thought of that. I'm not super afraid of being on live, but it is a little vulnerable for me to share all of these things, and especially my personal journey. But I am glad you're all here, and thank you for watching. If there's anything specific that you are working on or that you would like to try this EFT technique on, leave it in the comments. I could add an essential oil recommendation, or just, chat about whatever it is that you're going through, so that you can either combine the oil with the practice, or definitely let me know if you tried it and if it helped. And yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, I am going to, like I said, try to save this on IGTV. But these are kind of the techniques and stress management, coping things that we share in the community as well. So if you want to check that out, the details are in the link in my bio. You're welcome. Thank you all. I will talk to you all next week. Bye.